Hey everyone, Captain Sean here with a special Boy Meets World Top 10 video for you all. Now, for the longest time, I considered making a top 10 list related to the series to just be too difficult. You see, some episodes of Boy Meets World are very good because of how super silly they are, while the other episodes are very good because of how seriously dramatic they are. But how do you judge the quality of comedy in one episode over the quality of drama in another? Well, I decided to not do that. Instead of a simple top 10 Boy Meets World episode list, I chose to make a top 10 silliest Boy Meets World episodes list and a top 10 serious Boy Meets World episodes list. Now, the top 10 silliest Boy Meets World episodes list I've already shared online. So now today, it's time to look at the best serious episodes of this series. And by the way, these episodes will be picked based on not how intense they got, but on how well each episode carried out its dramatic intent. Now, I'll admit though, even making a top 10 list that only looks at one factor of what made Boy Meets World so amazing is still going to be hard. There are many serious episodes of Boy Meets World that taught amazing, relevant life lessons. And just saying now, there is going to be a bit of a cheat with what ends up at number 1 on the list. It's just been real tough making this list though, because many great stories are being left out. However, this list isn't about the rest. This is the top 10 best serious Boy Meets World episodes ever. And now, for number 10, Fishing for Verna. In this season 4 episode, we get an amazing tale about the importance of loving and appreciating those around you. On one hand, we get a story about Sean, with Corey's help, trying to get Sean's parents back together. Then on the side at first, we get a silly tale about Corey enjoying his lunch he always gets from the cafeteria lady. But then the next day, we find out Corey's favorite cafeteria woman has died.
It is my sad duty to inform you that Brenda Hibbard, our lunchroom lady, has passed away.
Mr. Feeney, she was just here yesterday doing the lava on my mashed potato volcano.
I'm sorry, Mr. Matthews.
It's a sudden and very real scene that many viewers can easily find relatable. Many times in life, the rug does get pulled out from under us, and sudden tragedy does occur. And you wonder, how can life just continue after that? But because Corey never appreciated the amazing woman that provided him food at school, it causes Corey to reevaluate how he treats those around him, such as remembering to thank his mother, who always provides him food at home, and of course, helping Sean's parents see the value in family and help them get back together. Now, this episode may feel a bit less relevant to Sean's growth later down the line, since Sean's mother does eventually wind up leaving the family again later in the series, causing more dysfunction in Sean's life, but in Corey's case, this was a very important moment in his growth and his maturity, as Corey becomes an individual that becomes more appreciative of his loved ones by the end of this episode. And the greatest form of love that's shown in this story is in the final scene, when all the students of the school show appreciation to the woman that gave them trays of food by bringing her trays of flowers. Number 9, Stormy Weather. A Season 3 episode of Boy Meets World that was one of the first real episodes to truly address the harsh reality of growing up. In the episode, Eric has an internship at a weather station and is starting to achieve great fame at his job. So because of this, Eric decides in the week of his 18th birthday to drop out of school and pursue this job. This, of course, leads to a huge series of arguments with his parents.
I'm not going to remain quiet while my son makes the biggest mistake of his life. Now, you may be some big-shot weatherman down at Channel whatever it is, but here, you are still my son living in my house.
Yeah, but I'm 18 today.
Fine. You want to play adult? Then let's play. You want to continue sleeping in that room of yours upstairs? You pay rent. Car insurance. You pay that too. Groceries. Are you starting to get the idea?
Yeah, I get it. I get that you two don't realize how important this job is to me.
However, the same day Eric drops out of school, Eric gets hit with a cold splash of reality and learns his job position was never going to be permanent, and realizes he may very soon be losing this position. It's a true example of what Boy Meets World always did well, pulling away the veil of what children think life is going to be like when they're older, and instead shows the real tough harshness of what growing up truly looks like. It's a wonderful episode about the importance of education and studying hard, without feeling like an in-your-face PSA. Plus, actor Will Friedle shines in this episode, proving that while he can be super goofy and crazy in some episodes, can pull off his dramatic acting just as well. A very fine episode indeed.
Mr. Feeney, please. I just had my butt kicked out there in the real world. They fired me, and I really need somebody to cut me some slack.
Why should I cut you some slack? You got a job, you lost a job, so go and find another one.
Oh, without a high school diploma? You know, Mr. Feeney, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's really tough out there.
Number 8, the two-parter Career Day and Home. In this Season 2 finale story, we get a well-presented tale about finding acceptance and identity in more ways than one. In the episode, viewers get their first close glimpse into Sean's family life. First, we meet Sean's less-than-ideal father. Then, we find out his mother has run away. And then, we find out his father is taken off too. And then, even though Corey's family is trying hard to take care of Sean, Sean learns they are having great difficulty taking care of him and want to explore another option of where Sean can stay, which of course results in Sean feeling like he has no place of belonging.
None of you want me. Well, that's fine. I don't need any of you. I never needed anybody.
But then at the same time, we get a story about Mr. Turner trying to figure out his own identity and what his place in life is, which eventually leads him to realizing that his place in life may be doing something completely selfless for somebody else, such as becoming a foster parent to Sean. And meanwhile, we get Corey, who at first believes he has no great status in life because he is the son of a lowly grocer, eventually realize how blessed he truly has always been. A serious and very solid dramatic story.
Listen, I never really thanked you for coming to school yesterday.
No problem. Sorry I couldn't compete with that guitar player and that foot doctor.
Well, that's only because you left out the most important thing you do.
What's that?
What you do after work. I mean, around here, for us, for our friends.
Cor, that's nothing.
It's everything, Dad. I mean, I was thinking I was the son of a grocer, but now I know what I really am is, well, the son of my father.
Number 7, if you can't be with the one you love. Basically, this is the alcohol episode. Now, many sitcoms in the 90s would always do at least one drug or alcohol PSA episode, but Boy Meets World by far did it most effectively. After having some drama with Topanga, Corey tries drinking alcohol to feel better and gets Sean to drink it with him. Despite not getting physically hurt, the two do get in trouble with the police, and they get in very serious trouble with Corey's parents.
Corey, you were drinking tonight.
I don't care, Mom. Dad drinks.
I am slightly over 21. And when I do drink, I drink responsibly. And when you are ready to do what I do, then you can get out of this house and get a job.
Now because of this situation, Corey immediately stops drinking. However, the episode shows young viewers that alcohol is an addictive substance, and just saying you're gonna stop doesn't work on everyone, which is what happens with Sean. As the episode continues, we learn Sean is still drinking alcohol regularly, but then, in a heated scene with his half-brother Jack, Sean is reminded of what excessive drinking can do to a family.
You don't have a clue, do you?
About what?
About Dad.
Yeah. Dad used to drink and then he stopped. Next.
You know why he stopped drinking?
Because he ran out of money?
You know why my mom left him?
Because she went for a guy with more money?
She left him because he was an abusive, ugly drunk. Don't you ever talk about my son! Son! Stop! He's my father too, man. Alcoholism is in our family, and you shouldn't drink.
And of course, in the end, another good message is learned when Sean gets a reminder from Corey's father about how drinking alcohol doesn't just affect yourself, but also indirectly, everyone around you.
I wouldn't want two friends to be kept apart. When I said that, I was under the influence of alcohol.
You were drunk too?
No, you were. And so was Corey, and I didn't like seeing you that way.
Yeah. That seems to be the general consensus.
Number 6, Dangerous Secret. A Season 4 episode that's not just very serious and profound, but also hits you with some genuine surprises as well. The story starts out with Corey finding out that a girl named Claire has been staying over at Sean's place when Sean's parents are out of town. Now, you automatically think you know what life lesson this episode is aiming for, but then there's a genuine well-done twist when about halfway through the episode, we find out Claire hasn't been staying with Sean for dirty reasons, but it's actually because Claire has been trying to escape from her abusive father, who has been physically hurting her. From this point forward, the episode highlights a ton of issues related to victims who live in abusive households go through. First off, it directly addresses one issue related to abuse when Claire explains how her father has a prominent job at a bank and how that prominent position she believes would cause people not to believe any accusations she makes. Then it also deals with why Sean didn't go to the police with the information Claire gave him, since Sean comes from a community and family full of individuals who have broken the law before. Thus, Sean seems to believe the law wouldn't be on his side if he tried to help Claire. However, what Sean doesn't realize at first is that even if you or your family have broken the law before in the past, the law is still there to protect you and everyone. Then the episode also addresses several problematic mindsets that people dealing with abuse go through, such as their hopes that everything will just get better if they do nothing, and that perhaps they did something wrong. However, the episode near the end presents a series of powerful scenes that addresses the need to take appropriate action against wrongful ones.
She wanted us to keep it a secret.
We decided to respect that.
Hey, guys, if you've got a friend in serious trouble, then the only thing you have to respect is how to get her the right kind of help.
Did you call the police?
No, we put Claire on a bus to Vermont.
What's going to stop her dad from bringing her back? Because the distance is not going to be what stops him.
I'm going to stop him.
How?
I'm going to the police.
Good. We'll drive you.
Number 5, the series finale, Brave New World. Yeah, I would get in serious trouble if I didn't put this episode on the list. Now, some longtime Boy Meets World fans might wonder why I didn't put this episode at number 1. Well, the series finale isn't perfect. The final episodes feature a lot of flashbacks that just kinda come out of nowhere, along with callbacks for the sake of callbacks. However, there still is a very solid story. Corey and Topanga have to consider if they should move to New York City to help Topanga pursue her dream career. And through a series of well-crafted scenes, we're reminded how, just like how a small plant needs to be removed from its pot to a much larger area to grow, so must some people move to new locations where they can better properly grow themselves. The rest of the scenes are really just a curtain call featuring all of the still present characters and highlight how far they've come. But then, there's that final scene, where all of the young characters who have been present since Season 1 get their final lesson from Mr. Feeney. And it's this final scene that truly pushes this story onto the top 10 list. It's a scene with a great lesson that has become forever ingrained into the minds of every fan. It's a lesson that boils the entire episode, the entire series, and all of life into just one moment.
Believe in yourselves. Dream. Try. Do good.
Don't you mean do well?
No, I mean do good.
Number 4, cult fiction. Yeah, this is usually the first episode people bring up when they think of how serious Boy Meets World could get. In the episode, Sean joins a cult. Basically, it's a group of people who share love freely and live away from their family and past friends and don't really think about other goals in life. Now, you don't see anything really inappropriate going on, but it is hinted there's some darker stuff happening in this organization. But then higher level concepts get brought up when it's revealed that Sean may have jumped into this cult that forces its beliefs on you because Sean doesn't have a strong belief in anything.
Sean, before you met these people at this place, what did you believe in?
I don't know, nothing.
Did you believe in God?
But then we get a series of scenes where Sean learns of a love stronger than just love that is given out freely, such as the love that Corey's parents show Sean when they tried to defend him from the cult leader, and the love Sean experiences from his friends when they comfort him after Mr. Turner winds up in the hospital from a motorcycle accident.
Can't look at him like this. Corey, come on, let me go.
No.
Corey, let me go!
Sean, this is a hug, okay? This is a hug. And this is when you hug somebody, when you care about them, and then you want them to know that.
And this eventually leads to the final scene, in which Sean discovers the most powerful love that exists, the love of God.
God, you're not talking, but I know you're here. So I'm gonna talk. And you can listen. God, I don't want to be empty inside anymore.
Number 3, Uncle Uncle Daddy. In this Season 4 episode, Eric, who has been out of high school for less than a year now, has jumped into his first serious romantic relationship with a young adult woman. The episode feels very cliché, simple, and silly in the first few minutes, but then Eric gets the rug pulled out from him when he sees what dating in the adult world can really be like. When he finds out this young adult woman he's dating is also a single mother with a young son. What follows this is a series of very well-crafted scenes where you see the gears in Eric's brain turning as his perception of what adulthood truly looks like begin to change. Yes, Eric by this point realized adulthood meant working hard, but this is the first episode where we see Eric realize that adulthood is more than just the fun swinging single life. Adulthood does mean caring about people other than yourself, including your potential future family. And Eric actually does grasp this concept pretty quickly by letting his girlfriend soon after know that her past and the fact that she is a son will not prevent him from caring about them both.
Having a kid brother and sister of your own is a little bit different than being around someone else's kid.
Ryan isn't someone else's kid. Ryan's your kid. I can't wait to get to know him, too.
It's a series of scenes where we truly realize for the first time how much of a completely nice person Eric really is. However, what Eric eventually realizes is that being willing to kindly care for others and knowing how to care for others are two different concepts. Despite every good intention Eric makes, he does make some mistakes in the story at going about how to take care of his girlfriend and her son. It's a powerful realization that tells kids, teens, and young adults that simply the intention to be a nice person isn't enough to succeed as a family leader and parent. There will be struggles and setbacks, and it takes a very much disciplined, mature mind that's worked very hard to prepare to take on that responsibility to succeed through it. And Eric sadly realizes near the end of the episode that he may not be fully prepared and ready for that. It's a moving moment that truly captures how it feels to go from being a teenager to being a true adult.
Just because I'm a mom doesn't mean that you have to be a dad.
Kelly, I'm not looking to get out of this.
I know that, Eric. But listen to me. You still have so many options available to you in your life. Take advantage of them.
Number 2, the two-parter, My Baby Valentine and Resurrection. Now the story starts out pretty simple enough. Corey's trying to have a nice Valentine's Day with Topanga, and Corey's parents are getting ready to have another baby. And at the end of the first part, the new baby is born and you think everything is gonna be nice. But then seconds after being born, it's discovered the baby is having problems breathing. It's another moment that throws cold reality at the viewers by reminding them that unlike the way most TV shows portray the miracle of childbirth, not all children are born without incident, and it is possible that any life, whether it's grown up or a newborn baby, can die at any time. The characters' reactions and conflicted feelings over seeing a baby experiencing so much sickness and pain is very emotional and even hard to watch at times, especially when it's revealed that there are actually several newborn babies in the hospital that are all experiencing medical complications as well. But then, there's a very particularly moving scene where Corey's father is in the hospital and is shown talking to another father whose child is going through a similar ordeal.
Michael. How's your son?
I think he smiled at me.
Hey, say one for my boy, will ya?
Oh, these are for all of us.
It's a very moving moment that reminds both the characters and the viewers that even when you're experiencing pain, it never stops to hurt and pray for others who are going through pain as well. The story is powerful in that, while it doesn't teach a message about how to succeed at dealing with such high levels of grief, it does show that seeking help through family, friends, and prayer is the first step to getting through that grief. And this is said in words by no one better than Sean, who had left town for a time after his father died, but upon coming back to be with his friends during this time, realizes how much he needed to be with them. Not just to help him through his father's death, but also because we all need our friends close to us. Always.
I've been out of town. See, I was in a real bad way, and I went looking to see what was important in my life. I met a lot of people out of town who were looking for the same thing. Now you're in a real bad way. And I came back here because I want to tell you something. Don't go out of town. Don't go anywhere. life is right here with these people. With your family.
And now for number 1. Corey and Topanga's post-honeymoon story arc. Yeah, this one is a bit of a cheat, but it still has to be put here. The 5-episode story arc about the early days of Corey and Topanga's marriage after their honeymoon during the final season of the series features some of the best story material ever seen in Boy Meets World. Now, for some people, one of the greatest flaws of Boy Meets World was how way too good to be true Corey and Topanga's relationship seemed at times. To some people, their relationship just felt a bit unrealistic in some episodes. But then as soon as the honeymoon is over, in the episode, The Honeymoon is Over, the real story of their relationship begins. As soon as they get back to their hometown, Corey and Topanga realize that their naive beliefs that they would suddenly have a place to live after their honeymoon get shot out the window. They can't stay with or receive help from their friends due to a lack of available housing space and a lack of available financial aid. And then, add to that issue, Corey and Topanga are both still in college, and suddenly the show presents itself with one of its most intriguing, realistic portrayals of young adulthood ever shown. Now, Corey and Topanga do eventually find a low-cost apartment, but it's not that good. The building they're in doesn't seem to be in the best neighborhood, the apartment itself isn't in the best condition, the pipes don't work, and the two are very, very far from ever being able to afford something better. And the most realistic aspect of the story is, the basic problems do not fix themselves in the story arc. Corey and Topanga never leave the place they're living in until the series finale. The two are unable to afford a plumber, so Corey has to fix their own pipes, and the two never get any additional financial aid from any of their friends and family, most notably Corey's parents. Not just because Corey's parents likely don't have the finances to completely help them, but also because they won't.
You made a choice. You decided that you were old enough to get married. You decided to take on the responsibility of a new life because you believed you could handle it. And this family supported that decision after we told you that it was going to be very difficult. What, did you think we were kidding? Did you go into this marriage thinking you were just going to play house and we were going to bail you out of trouble?
The thing is, this is something real adults in the real world deal with. Being married isn't always happily ever after all of the time. There still are trials and tribulations to get through. And just like most people in the real world, your living conditions just won't improve overnight. In fact, they may not improve for years. But through it all, never forget to hold on to your significant other. And don't forget to hold on to your family, no matter how bad things get.
I made us a tuna fish sandwich.
I love you.
I know. I know you do.
Now this theme does continue through the next several episodes, as Corey and Topanga learn about the importance of staying loyal to each other as they fix up their apartment, repaint their walls, and continue to help out their friends through their everyday lives. But then it all culminates in serious drama in the episode The Provider. Corey and Topanga have both been looking for steady jobs, and while Topanga finds respectable work, Corey finds himself unable to make any money for his family. And due to Corey starting to feel completely inferior compared to his wife, it results in a serious argument between the two.
You said I'm a loser, Topanga. I know you said it because I heard it. I heard it from your big mouth.
Oh, I have a big mouth now. You can't even play solitaire, imbecile. Did you hear that okay from my big mouth?
You know what, Topanga? I used to be able to. I used to be able to do a lot of things before I married you. Congratulations! You've killed my spirit.
However, this results in a powerful moment that, through example, teaches viewers something very important. That in order to resolve conflict with family, you have to talk it out. And not just briefly, but through a series of long discussions, which Corey and Topanga do. A series of discussions in which they discuss their feelings, their frustrations, and their formulation of a plan to make their marriage better. In a world where so many married couples break up over petty issues, it is very refreshing to see a show give a strong portrayal of how to save a marriage. Because as Corey and Topanga show in this episode, even the best couples have fights. But unless abuse or violence is going on, any marriage can be saved. And any marriage is worth saving. And for this strong lesson to be coming from a situation comedy show, that is really saying something.
I don't want you to ever feel bad about yourself.
And I don't want you to ever hold yourself back because of me.
So what do?
We have to support each other, Topanga.
And we can't be afraid to fight with each other.
But I'm scared of you.
Corey, sometimes in our lives, you're going to be doing better than me.
When?
Or I'm going to be doing better than you.
And we're back.
If either one of us is doing well at all, it's because we love each other. We have to always remember that. We're not competing, we're a team. I would never want to kill your spirit because I love your spirit.
And so there you go, the top 10 serious Boy Meets World episodes. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it, be sure to also check out my top 10 silliest Boy Meets World episodes list. And if you haven't watched Boy Meets World before, I highly recommend buying it on DVD or digital download today. It is a show that will bring you lots of laughs, but also lots of serious stories that will make you think hard about life as well.